hire enough. Like there's so many tech companies, so many jobs becoming available that we need companies like yourself. And I guess, that kind of rolls into my next question, talking about Canada's tech industry and Calgary's place in it. What do you see right now in Calgary's tech industry, and is there anything that is needed for it to grow and prosper?
That's a great question. I think the main thing about Calgary is that, as we know, it's been perceived for a long time as being the oil and gas capital of Canada, right? And that's been its kind of focal main kind of position in Canada. And I think it's actually transforming from that into tech and innovation. I think it's going through an industrial transformation. And as I said to you before we even started this interview, our biggest growing campus in Canada over the last year, and what we're projecting for this year, is actually Calgary. So across all the locations that we have, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Victoria, Ottawa, we expect Calgary to be growing in terms of percentage year over year growth is actually the most. And that's because of what we've seen in terms of government support, in terms of hiring partners, the amount of companies that are actually coming to our events that are saying, we need developers, can you please graduate more? We're seeing some amazing momentum there, and it's really, really cool to see. Now, of course, the oil and gas industry is going through its thing, and that's essentially fueling the soil, if you will. Like it's creating that, it's enriching the soil for all the other industries. And specifically, I think my prediction for Calgary is over the next, let's call it 3 to 5 year horizon, it's going to be on the global map in terms of tech companies that are already in Calgary. So I mean, Calgary is supported by numerous organizations, right? I don't even see this number of organizations in Vancouver, for example, where I'm located. Companies like, or organizations like Platform, Startup Calgary, CED, Calgary Economic Development, Rainforest, where you and I met, are just among a few of the organizations that I can list that are just, their mission generally is about Alberta and Calgary, which is phenomenal, right? It's about fueling the tech growth there. There's amazing tech success stories that are like, maybe not even just Canadian, but like global success stories. Companies like Benevity, companies like Adabotics, companies like Solium that was recently acquired by Morgan Stanley. It's called ShareWorks now. I recently just yesterday had a conversation with the CTO of Neo Financial. I think they're doing incredible things. They're a startup, and they may not be on everybody's roadmap, but they're going to be a bank, and they're going to be issuing a credit card this year. And it's going to be a very progressive, modern credit card. These fintech companies that are coming out of Calgary are just astonishing. We see amazing investment from the government. Minister Baines recently announced, what was the number? 38 million across 27 projects. And we were part of one of the companies that actually received government funding, which allowed us to grow and continue growing over the next few years and actually invest heavily into Calgary. There's just some phenomenal support coming in from things like Opportunity Calgary Investment Fund, OCIF, and Minister Baines' initiatives. So I think there's just a lot of different initiatives that are all having the shared vision. And essentially what I expect in the next few years is a rapid growth of startups. And I would say that the industries are likely going to be, from what I'm seeing, supply chain is going to be a big one from what I'm seeing in terms of the startup ecosystem there. Fintech, as I mentioned, health is another big one. And I expect maybe game development will be another big one from what I've seen in Calgary in terms of the startups that are there.
Just listening to you talk gets me